Rockadale Shy, Rockadale, Rockadale Shy, Rockadale, Rockadale Shy. First and foremost, I want to give all praises going on to the Hawa, Bashim Yao Shai, Bashim Mugakudas. Double long apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, beloved Akim. That is pushing his word in sincerity and truth with humiliation on the gods of all Wednesday. I salute. This is the brother desire one back at you in another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And I want to get into a brief lesson, a little exhortation, continue to trust the Lord. Continue to trust Yahweh Shema Shai in whatever situation you're in, whatever you're going through. Because the Most High is foul. Alright? Continue to trust the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. Every time you're doing the work of the Lord, someone always trying to call you. But nevertheless, this can go forward. Yeah, man. Because I had experience whereby, going to buy a ticket, to get from one island to the next, and when I went to buy the ticket, all right, pretty much because I far from the island I usually live on, I came on this island yesterday. So I said within myself, let me purchase my ticket to get off this island early for Sunday evening. All right. And pretty much, me and my woman, we going to purchase the ticket. And when we went by the boat, all right, we had to go on the boat to pay for the ticket, all right, because we heading back on the boat on Sunday, Lord willing. So here it is, a guy was ahead of me, and the guy had, he basically had, she was getting him sorted, but he had his card. He's paying whatever for his card. I ain't seen no cash. So I asked the lady, I said, do y'all take cash? So she said no. And right there and then, I said, I didn't have no cash on my card. I mean, I didn't have no Salak. I had cash, but I didn't have no money on my bank card. All right. So I was like, wow, they don't take cash. So I said, wow. I was in a little distress. I was like, I gotta try to get this ticket early so I don't have to worry about this or trying to find, funds online. All right. At the last minute. So I said, I gotta try to get it sorted. So I asked the lady, can I purchase the ticket on the day when the boat comes back? All right. She said, yeah. All right. Because I like to do things in advance. But nevertheless, what happened is that the same lady who was dealing with the ticket, she asked this guy, say, hey, do you have, can you purchase these people ticket and they can give you the cash? See, yeah, I ain't no problem. I was like, whoa, I don't know this guy from a can of paint, but this lady, her spirit, she have a nice spirit, and she basically she tell this guy pay for their ticket because he had funds on his bank account. I didn't have any. I had the cash, and that's why it's always good to have both. When you're traveling. So, but I just thought people still mostly deal with cash. But this fast ferry, this business thing, this boat business, they just deal with online transaction. They don't really deal with cash. So nevertheless, so the guy said, yeah, man, no problem. The guy pulled out his card, he swiped his card, and I was able to get my ticket paid for, and I gave him I gave the lady the $300 because the tickets cost like 150 a piece for me and my woman. And it's such a blessing. The Lord touch their people, them people out. Cause some people could be so mean, and they got a pleasant spirit. And the woman said to me, "Let's tip him a little bit, tip him." So I tip him. I gonna tip him $5. I say, "Man, don't worry about that, man. You might need that same $5 to maybe get a drink when you're boat coming on the boat." So I say, "Wow." I say, "The Wadi Abashim Al Shai." I didn't know who I could turn to try, give somebody some cash, and they transfer it to my online banking. In that moment, because you don't really know nobody like that. So it was a blessing. The Lord touched their heart, not far from the island, my island, where I live. You see, you don't know much people like that on this island. All right, but it was a blessing, and it was a blessing. The Lord delivered us out of that. And I was able to purchase my ticket. So all I gotta do is go straight on the boat. All right, to get off this island. It was a blessing. But I say that to say this: regardless of whatever situation you're gonna do, the Lord right there. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is right there. The Lord always with us. He can try us, but we just have to keep the faith. That's why we gotta trust in Him at all times. And whatever you're going through, this is what He tell us. This is Psalm 55:22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord. The Lord in all caps is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. All right, and He shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. All right, regardless of whatever situation we're going to continue to trust the Lord. You might have some ups and downs along the way. Hey, that's how the street go. A lot of ups and downs. You get some losses, but at the end of the day, continue to trust the Lord. But you say, cast a burden upon Him, whatever you're going through, because it started to worry me a little bit at first. I said, but something, because it was in that moment, you know what I mean? It's like you don't really know nobody like that. You don't have no funds online, so it's like who you could really ask. And the Lord touched their spirit, and that's just how it's gonna be in these last days. When we face with our situation, our back against the wall, the Lord is gonna touch people's spirit and deliver us out of situations, right? He's gonna touch people's spirits and deliver us out of situation. That's why we gotta continue in this fight and continue to trust Him. Where else we gonna go? Where else we gonna go? Other than Yahweh Shem Shai. This is the AI overview of Psalm 55:22, an invitation to surrender your worries and struggles to God. It promises that if you rely on Him, He will provide the strength you need to endure and ensure that you will never permanently be defeated or shaken by life's trials. Alright, you gotta continue to trust in Yahweh Shem Shai. Whatever you're going through, let's throw it on Yahweh Shem Shai. Alright. Scripture says, "Come unto me, all ye are heavy laden." Alright, whatever you're going through, continue to trust the Lord. And when you see situations happen to you, don't look at that as nothing bad. Once you serve the Lord, you got to prepare yourself for temptation. Right now I am on a different island, from where I live. And I need one or two things done. At the end of the day. But I can't really do nothing because I ain't there. So I have to trust the Lord and see what I could do, who I could ask to help me do one or two things. I ain't there. But at the end of the day, the Lord always can come through for us, regardless of whatever you're going through. Key concepts and meanings: cast thy burden upon the Lord. The Hebrew word for burden is yahav, reversed to your lot. Whatever you are given to carry, casting it means to throw off, completely release it. It is an active choice to stop carrying the heavy weight of your stress, anxiety, or grief by placing it in God's hands. And sometimes we lean on our own understanding, and that's why we suffer in situations. We gotta let the Lord have His way. Alright? We just model, man. Let the Lord have His way, man. Because what you adding by worrying about certain things. At that minute I was starting to worry a little bit. So I was like, I in the flesh. But at the end of the day, the Lord touched people's heart. And, and I was delivered of that situation. And the Wadi Abba Shimon Shai, the Wadi Abba Shimon Shai, the Wadi Abba Shimon Shai, we gotta continue to trust the Lord, babe. It says he will sustain you. God promises not to just watch you struggle, but actively hold you up, support you, and provide your needs. You see that? It's beautiful vibe. So that lead only that lead for us is to continue to trust him. Don't care. Things might look difficult. The Lord can still provide. He still can make a way. Alright? But he can let you catch some hell along the way. But hey, he ain't gonna suffer the righteous to be moved. It says, he will never let the righteous be shaken. Being shaken or moved in the biblical context meaning falling into permanent ruin or spiritual instability. You see that? Wisdom and knowledge means stability of that times, but and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is a stretcher. So once we continue to fear the Lord, hold on to the Abba Shimon Shai, regardless of what we go through along the way, he's going to be with us. It does not mean you will avoid hardship, you see, but rather that you will be securely grounded and preserved through them. You see, we will be grounded. We're going to be stable through all what we go through. All right, because along this path, Yahweh Shimon Shai is going to make a way for us. He far out. Like I always say, Yahweh Shimon Shai, far out. Okay? He's going to put you in certain situations, make you feel uncomfortable sometimes. But hey, at the end of the day, he can never leave us nor forsake us. You see? All we got to do is cast our burden upon him, whatever we're going through. He can deliver us. You see? Yeah, man, that's how it is. Alright, so whatever you're dealing with, get up to the Lord in prayer, man. The Lord's gonna be with us. All we gotta do is continue to trust him to the end. Not yesterday say, wow. All we can say is the Wadi Abba Shimon Shai. And that same lady, me and my woman was just walking, coming from this certain place on the island where I'm at now. That same lady stopped. Y'all scrape? She don't know us from a can of paint. She said, y'all scrape? I said, yeah, man, we good. You don't find people like that. So it's a blessing the Lord touched that woman. I said, baby, she can be blessed. She gonna be blessed. She got a good, nice spirit. She help us, help the prophet, the man of the Lord. It's a blessing, but the Lord's gonna touch people out in these last days. When our back is against the wall to deliver us. Alright? And he doing in this day and time, protecting us and guiding us through the situations. But hey, at the end of the day, don't worry yourself, man. Continue to trust the Lord. Continue to trust the Lord. That's all we can do. Continue to trust him at the end of the day. So I just want to bring out the spirit, Bobby Abba Shimon Shai. Shalom.